An Alexander Wennberg trade is imminent, as he's been left out of tonight's game and morning skate for trade-related reasons. The Bruins being one of the top reported teams that Alex Wennberg is linked to is a very important move if this trade does occur within the next 24 hours. Now, before we get into all of this Alex Wennberg trade news going to the Boston Bruins, make sure to hit the sub button and join along this new channel. We're putting up all of reports, trades, rumors, signings, everything from the Boston Bruins, all of your news as it happens, and you won't want to miss out on any of the things that are happening this week with the NHL trade deadline only days away. And we were going to be very busy keeping you guys up to date, so make sure to hit that sub button. But like I said, an Alexander Wennberg trade seems to be imminent, according to Michael Sullivan as well as Kate Shefty. Bruins have been linked to him, but they are one of few teams. Time will tell, but looks like we'll know very shortly. And this is after Kate Shefty said, said the Kraken's coach, Dave Haxtell, said Alex Wennberg was held out of morning skate and not available tonight due to trade-related issues, like I said. And this is an absolutely important trade for the Boston Bruins if they are the team that are pushing to get an Alex Wennberg-style player in Alex Wennberg. You know, the Bruins, like I reported in earlier today's video, if you make sure to check that out, another very important one, they said that Cam Neely was wanted to add some more grit, some more size before the March 8th NHL trade deadline, and the Bruins wanted to do that, or likely had to do that externally, due to, you know, many players that they have, like Justin Brazeau, who is 6'5", 220 pounds, already being in the NHL. But also in this article, another stiff defender would be good, Neely said. Fluto Shinzawa from The Athletic in the interview that they had, and you could always use help on offense. That is the key part here. Alex Wennberg, whose stats I will pull up in a moment, definitely putting up a pretty solid season compared to what he's been doing, and he's on pace to, you know, have one of his better seasons of his career. And obviously, I like the size of Brazeau. That adds an element to the bottom part of our lineup we haven't had for a while, Neely said. Richard, I love his speed and his tenacity. He's more physical than I anticipated him being, which is a good thing. That's an element where we could probably play a little more physical than we have. I'm not talking about putting someone into the third row, but just creating a little more anxiety for the other players that they are playing against to go back to that old Boston roots that we've been seeing for so many years. But I'll pull up Alex Wennberg's stats here. You know, this season, 25 points in 60 games. And a guy that's not going to be going out there to put up numerous points for your team. He's very much of a playmaker style, especially with the size, which is a key part of why he is going to be a very, very prominent trade figure for the Boston Bruins. He is 6'2", 190. The weight isn't there so much, but the size, a 6'2" player, is certainly what the Boston Bruins could use right now to add to their depth on their forward side along with Justin Brazeau. Now, the only deal is with Alex Wennberg is he's a center. And the Bruins, they could definitely use one, but it's also a lot of depth winger pieces as well that they could add. You know, I'll pull up the forwards here. You can see Jacob Lauko likely to be traded from what we've been seeing recently. You know, he's shown that he's weary of a trade. He acknowledges that he is likely a guy that is going to get traded before the March 8th deadline. And that could be a straight replacement there, but you could also see Morgan Geekie, Jesper Bokvist. Geekie scoring a hat-trick the other day. You could definitely add some depth down the center, as well as even possibly play a first or second line. You know, Pavel Zacha, Charlie Coyle, two guys who've been in the NHL for a while, but I would not say they're a number one seed center, and neither is Wennberg, but you could definitely have an option there to swing the lineup around along with Wennberg in that system. Really whatever style of hockey you're looking to play and your opponent, which is a very good option for the Boston Bruins in this case, and something that will definitely add a lot of reinforcement to this forward side, as Cam Neely and Don Sweeney were looking for in those interviews. But I think Alex Wennberg, if I go back to his stats here, you can see from his past that he's been very capable of putting up close to 40 points in the season 16-17 with Columbus, 59, which is a very excellent season. And he's only 29 years old, which is obviously another huge part of being able to have a guy like Alex Wennberg. Now, in addition to him being a very solid centerpiece, a very solid forward add to this Boston side, he's also on a final year of his deal at $4.5 million, which, although the Boston Bruins do not have exactly a lot of cap space to work with at the moment, it's definitely an easier contract to be able to make flexible with a salary retention, with being able to send someone like Jacob Lauko, who does have a more than minimum contract to be able to make things easier for a deal to happen. And now, you know, the Bruins do have a lot of pieces that are being considered in trades. A lot more talk has been coming from Linus Ullmark being traded elsewhere. A lot of interest has been drawing for him, even though it may be hard to do, which does create and increase the cap space that the Bruins do have at the moment. But I do think Alex Wennberg is a very sneaky, underrated player that the Bruins would be able to get, who's not really on many top trade targets, top trade bait lists from what you see around the NHL. You know, you always had those guys like Jake Gensel, many of those centers and the forwards who have been being in conversations throughout this whole season, but now that the Seattle Kraken have kind of decided what their plan is for the rest of the season, the Bruins can act on what they want to do with Alex Wennberg. And I think that being able to slot him into this lineup of forwards, whether or not you move out players, move in players, you know, you decide to do something else, go kind of off the beaten path with this forward depth, I think it works out very well. Now, once again, I'm not sure if these are the exact lines that were happening. These are from daily face-off lines, just to make it easier to show, the kind of structure they have on this offensive side. But it is a trade that we may well see over the next 24 hours due to him being held out of the lineup, which I think Boston are going to act sooner rather than later on players. You know, they kind of want to be able to have the widest range of players to choose from. Wennberg being one that, you know, now that the teams have been interested in him, now that he's being held out of the lineup, things may have to speed up in the process for the Bruins offering a trade to him due to him being one of the players that, you know, the Bruins are searching for in a very big, or bigger forward on that side, as well as someone who is a great playmaker, can definitely get in the corners and the dirty spaces of this, and is also a physical presence on the ice. We've seen that in Seattle in a short time there, as well as Columbus, and he's been that player that, you know, you don't really want to line up against, which the Bruins absolutely need once again from what they've been doing in their past, what has been in the past for the Boston Bruins, and kind of lacking that right now in the current moment in this season from what we've seen over the past years with the Bruins. I think Alex Wennberg, once again, you know, I kind of sound like I'm repeating myself, but it's a very good piece that the Bruins should add to the list of players they may be interested in. Once again, we still have many big players like Noah Hanifin, not too many trades made yet, so like I said, that pool is still very big if they're willing to weigh their options. But to me, to everybody else from Twitter and X, it does seem like a Bruins trade for Alex Wennberg is imminent. So make sure to hit that sub button, join us along. You don't want to miss this trade when it happens, because I see some big things coming out of this one, and very solid work from Alex Wennberg if he does end up joining the Boston Bruins. But, you know, like I said, brand new channel, joining the Digest Media Company with lots of other hockey channels, but the Bruins are what we are covering here. All the Boston Bruins news, everything from trade reports, rumors, signings, you know, everything. You're going to get it here, and you don't want to miss that out, so make sure to hit the sub button. But that's all I got for this video. Make sure to hit the like button if you did enjoy. Obviously, lots of videos, lots of moves going to be coming over the next few days, so like I said, you're not going to want to miss out. But that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.